So, documentary filmmaker Michael Moore is someone who I think is a really important figure in American politics, even though sometimes, his films can be a little bit too hyperbolic and, he tries to appeal to your emotions more than reason sometimes. I think that there's still a lot of great facts in his documentary, and I think that what he can do oftentimes is galvanize a discussion around important political issues. For example, I question whether or not we would have passed the Affordable Care Act if it wasn't for his movie Sicko. So I think that Michael Moore is really important. His movies, they get people talking. Now, he was on the Bill Maher program, and he made a prediction about this presidential election. So we'll go ahead and see what he said, and then we'll come back, and I'll tell you what I think.
I'm sorry to have to kind of be the buzzkill here so early on, but I think Trump is going to win. I'm sorry.
You know what?
Yeah.
Boo if you want. I am glad you're saying that. Everybody should say that.
It.
No. The enemy is complacency.
Yeah. Yes.
Say it every day.
Not
only could he certainly could win.
I live in Michigan. Let me tell you. What it's going to be the Brexit strategy. The middle of England is Michigan, Wisconsin, right, Ohio, and Pennsylvania. And Mitt Romney lost by 64 electoral votes. The total electoral votes of those 4 states in the Rust Belt, 64. Yeah. All he has to do is win those 4 states. And I'm telling you, I was there during the Michigan primary, and he went there in front of the Ford, and he said, I'm telling you right now, they moved this factory to Mexico. I'm putting the tariff on the cars, and that's it. And it was music to people's ears, and more people in Michigan, in the Michigan primary, voted Republican than Democrat in the primary this year. That should be disturbing to everybody. Message.
So the question is he correct? And my response is, I have no idea. Part of me questions, and this, credit to whoever said it, some people on Reddit were discussing the fact that, maybe he doesn't necessarily believe this so much that, he thinks Trump is going to win, but maybe he thinks it's possible, and he's saying this as a means of mobilizing the Democratic base. I don't know. But I think that him saying Trump's going to win, is there a truth to it? Absolutely. For me personally, I think that this election can go either way. You have people like Nate Silver. He's made a lot of wrong predictions, and this used to be, boy genius before, and now he's made a lot of wrong predictions. Now, a lot of people have, because this is an odd election cycle. But he said that Hillary Clinton has a 79% chance of winning, and I think that's absurd. This election really could go either way. It's not decided yet. And the fact that, the polls may change, even though Hillary Clinton is currently tied with Donald Trump, you don't know what's going to happen. So I'm going to go through reasons as to why both Hillary Clinton and Donald Trump could win. It's not decided yet. So here's why Donald Trump could win. He's caught up to her in the polls, and he's performing well in swing states. This is a sign that he could win. Also, Hillary Clinton is historically disliked for the Democratic Party, and this might depress turnout, which is favorable to Republicans. Now, the Republican base could be mobilized to get out and vote for him to prevent Hillary Clinton from winning. He's also anti-establishment, and that draws in more independents than Hillary Clinton does. He also draws in a lot of white voters. Now, Hillary Clinton is also rightfully perceived as untrustworthy and corrupt. And the FBI investigation, even though she wasn't indicted, still didn't help that perception. And there's evidence for this when you look at the fact that a majority of the country wants her to be indicted. Now, God forbid a terrorist attack happens somewhere in the world before the election. Well, this could really make Americans feel unsafe and thus gravitate more towards Donald Trump. So, when you look at all of these reasons, it's very likely that Donald Trump could win. But when you look at the reasons why Hillary Clinton could win, a lot of the times it's the opposite reason. So Donald Trump is historically disliked. He is more historically disliked than Clinton. He also polls terribly with African American and Latino voters. And also the fact that he's a proto-fascist might mobilize the Democratic base to get out and support Hillary Clinton. Now, even though she's pro-establishment, that does have some benefits because she will likely draw in more money from billionaire donors, and these donors will pour money into her campaign and help sway independents through TV advertising. So anyone who is not politically savvy, that's a swing voter, that's more independent, well, this money could help. Now, she also draws in a huge amount of support from African Americans and Latinos. Trump polls terribly with them. Now, Trump is rightfully perceived as a con man who's shady. Now, he's also being sued for fraud, and there are currently rape allegations waged against him. So that's a really bad thing. Now, God forbid, a mass shooting could happen before the election, and that could cause people to gravitate towards Hillary Clinton, who are looking to feel protected from that, someone who's actually going to put forth gun legislation. And I do believe that Hillary Clinton would pursue that. Now, many conservatives won't be voting for him, including the Bushes, Glenn Beck, Ted Cruz. Now, she also does have more experience than him. Now, irrespective of her judgment, this is something that many older voters really value. And also, it's undoubtedly the case that she's just more intelligent than him. So if you didn't notice, the theme is that they have about an equal amount of advantages and disadvantages. And where Donald Trump is very weak, Hillary Clinton is very strong. And where she's very weak, he's very strong. So this election is not over. It can go either way, and it's July. So we can't say with certainty that anything's going to happen in November, because a lot could change. We don't know how the debates are going to go. We've seen some debates where Donald Trump performed badly, but a lot of the times he did very well, but he had really idiotic opponents. Hillary Clinton, on the other hand, she's more intelligent, but at the same time, she doesn't perform very well in debates. I think Bernie Sanders crushed her in nearly every debate. There was very few debates where I thought Hillary Clinton actually even came close to winning. So who knows what's going to happen? It's up in the air. Now, if Bernie Sanders had won the nomination, this would be an entirely different story. I wouldn't actually predict that he would beat Donald Trump. I would just state that he probably has a better chance, because, I mean, you never want to underestimate your opponent, which is something that Bill Maher correctly pointed out. So could Bernie Sanders beat Donald Trump? Yeah, would he have likely beat Donald Trump? Who knows? I think he definitely has the better chance. That's what every single poll basically said. So the overall point is that we have no idea who's going to win this.